Hey, this is Giovanni Santiago, the root cause coach. And today I have a very special training. This training is actually has changed not only my life, but thousands of people's lives because I learned this through a very prominent doctor who's probably the best in the detox industry. He's been doing it for over 20 years. I've actually was a practitioner with this doctor for a few years. And last year, I worked as a health advisor for him. And so he is the best in the industry, bar none. And I've helped dozens of people with what I'm about to show you. And I hope that this will bring value to you and maybe give you the answers that you may be looking for. Because what I'm going to go over today is why you may not be able to lose weight, even if you're on Ozempic or Mounjaro, also known as semaglutide and tirzepatide. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go to the board. Okay, he always teaches this. And so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to create a cell. This is a cell, sorry. All right, now we have about 50 million of these cells. Each one of these cells, they have these receptors. They're kind of like TV antennas in my day. Okay, now let's just say, let's call this the brain. Yes, it's a brain, all right? And so let's say we have a thyroid, which is T3. Let's say we have insulin, and let's say we have leptin, which is the fat burning hormone. Now, in each cell, we have what's called the mitochondria. We'll call it the motor. And the motor needs horsepower, which is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. What happens is when the thyroid, which by the way is responsible for hair, nails, skin, and metabolism, in order for the thyroid to function properly, it's got to connect to the receptor. When that receptor connects, it's going to connect with the mitochondria. The mitochondria is going to produce and utilize ATP, the energy. When it does that, it actually produces a toxin. So what happens is it has to methylate, meaning it has to get out of the cell. When this happens, you're functioning well, everything's good. Okay. However, through stress, oils, toxins, we start having some issues because stress is a major problem which we don't realize. Let me show you what happens. Each cell also, by the way, has DNA. Now, many people think that because your parents had cancer or heart disease or whatever, that you're prone to get it. And that's not true. Through the science of epigenetics, that DNA can actually get turned off and turned on. So the question is, how does it get turned on? Well, here you go. During the course of time, as we start ingesting the oils, the toxins, the meds, what happens is in the cell, we start accumulating toxins. It's like a perfect storm that goes into that cell. When that happens, it changes the environment of the cell. And when that happens, that's when this DNA starts getting triggered. This is when we start having issues. Now, having this massive toxicity build up in your cells, it's like having, imagine your car being turned on and you put a potato in your muffler, your windows are out. Where is now that, smog going to go? It's going to go in your car, right? But that's what's going on here, because once this environment of the cell starts getting inflamed with all this cytotoxicity, which is what it's called, then what happens is that each of these cells, they start building a barrier of inflammation. Now, this inflammation starts accumulating toxins also in the exterior of the cell. Okay, I think can't really see it. Hold on, let me do it in different color. So the cell starts getting toxins. Oh, Lord. Go back to that. So the cells start getting these toxins. Okay. When you have inflammation on the outer layer of the cell, guess what? The thyroid, which is responsible for hair, nail, skin, and metabolism, can no longer connect to that receptor. So if you can't connect to your hair, nails, skin, and metabolism, how healthy is your hair going to be? Right? How about your hair, your nails, or your skin? How dry is your skin going to be? It's not connecting, so it can't get into the cell. Can't get into the cell properly. The mitochondria can use it. The ATP cannot produce the energy with it. Can't get expelled because there's inflammation. And all of this cytotoxicity starts building. So if the metabolism can't metabolize, how much fat do you think you're going to lose? Which means if you have cellular inflammation, doesn't matter how much you eat, what you don't eat, what you do eat, how much you work out. If it can't get through to the cell, it's not going to matter. So then, yeah, okay, you can go ahead and take Ozempic. I'm going to do it like this because you can take Ozempic, you can take tirzepatide, you can go ahead and take get a thyroid, and it'll work for a while. But guess what? The following month, you're going to need a stronger dose because it's not getting through. And so what the doctors will do is, okay, let's do a blood test. They'll take a blood test and they'll say, oh, your blood levels are fine. But meanwhile, you're losing your hair, your skin's horrible, your nails are brittle, and you got no energy. You got brain fog galore. Oh, and by the way, in the brain, let me do it this way. You start getting toxins in the brain. Once that happens, that's when you start getting the little floaties. You see floaties, in your vision. You also start getting tinnitus. You also start, being extremely sensitive to sound. In fact, the doctor that I worked for, he was so sensitive he couldn't be in the room with his own kids. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but think about that. And you're very sensitive to smells. And that's because you got toxicity in the brain. Why? Because the cells are inflamed. So now let's take insulin. If insulin cannot connect to that receptor and cannot connect with the mitochondria and the ATP, you become insulin resistant. Now we got type 2 diabetes. What about leptin? That's a fat burning hormone. If that doesn't go through, your metabolism is not working right. How much fat you think you're gonna lose? You're not. And this is the problem. It's not that you have an insulin problem. You have a inflammation problem, or you may have. We don't know yet, but in one of my other trainings, in fact, I'll put it in the link below where you can actually order a test and you can find out. It comes with an hour consultation. But in this test, you'll actually be able to see or know immediately whether you may have cellular inflammation. And if you have that, then we're going to help you come up with possibly some solutions to resolve that naturally. Okay. But right now, the only way to reduce that is to get rid of the inflammation. And that's what we do. And that's what we'll try to help you with if you so desire. But in order to find that out, all you really got to do is just order a test below. I have a link below. It's a non-invasive test. It tests for what's called malondialdehyde in the urine. And you'll know. You'll know from this test whether or not you got issues. And if you do, the good thing is we can help you deal with that. Okay. So this may be the reason why you can't lose weight, even if you're on semaglutide and tirzepatide. And I hope this helps you. Reach out to me. Click on the link below if you want to go in and order that test. Join our free community. We'll go over a bunch of trainings and things to try to help you get to the root cause of the problem. And this is the root cause right here, guys. Okay. I hope you got value from this. Hope to meet you in the community. God bless you.